All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elders of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations be unto the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is Brother Quana Wath coming back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. As you see right here, these are, my notifications that I've, been receiving throughout the day. And for those, that don't know, which you should know, right? Scripture saying Ephesians 5 and 15 that we're to walk circumspectly, right? To look around, to pay attention, So we should be on our watch, at all times, But for those, again, that don't know, right? Earlier, the Department of Justice, or the DOJ, right, ultimately released about 3.5 million pieces of evidence, right, surrounding the Jeffrey E.P. Stein files, man, and a lot of information came out. Really, a lot of, Esau's dirty laundry is being aired out right now, man, right, heavily, right, which is ultimately prophecy, right, this damn devil would be revealed, Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Esau is being revealed at such a high rate, right? You look at these things that are popping up, first and foremost, right? This is the elder apostles, right? They're street teaching, right? Go and watch the video and be edified. They're live right now, which is ultimately, why I'm gonna, try to keep this lesson, short, sweet, and straight to the point, Lord will, so I can chime in. But nonetheless, right, go and subscribe and be edified. But you see all this information, right? The E.P. Stein files live updates. It says Elon Musk's island invitation and Andrew's nickname among, you see it, right? It says Elon Musk asked Jeffrey E.P. Stein which night will be the wildest party on the PDF files island, right? Come on, man. It says Kill Gates responds to E.P. Stein's claim he caught an STD from, as you see right there. That one's, but then you got this guy, which I think is now the new governor of New York or mayor of New York or whatever, Zoran Mamdani, his mother, right, named in the EP files, right, EP Stein files, right. And then you got this one, right, most astonishing, right. It says the most astonishing EP Stein revelations from latest file release, right. Disturbing photos to show Andrew, right, formerly Prince Andrew, on all fours over a female, right. I think that this one actually shows it, right, and her face is, ultimately, cut off, right. The woman doesn't look, she looked like she might be, unconscious, man, looking like a young woman, let's go back, right. And then you had this one, which is heavy, it says Jeffrey E.P. Stein victim 13 bit, DT after being forced to perform, as it says right there, on the president, right? Come on, man. Which all this information is being revealed, right? Highly, right? And you see, you got, DT, DJT, and Jeffrey E.P. Stein. Hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is revealing this devil at an alarming rate, that he is just a fucking evil ass, wicked ass devil, man. Let's grab this, man. In Hebrews 12 and verse 16, highlighted. It says, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Let's go to that word profane, right? Which we know what it is, right? But we're going to continue to blow the whistle on it, right? Right? Strong's G 952, bebelos, right? Let's hear it.
Strong's G 952. Bebelos.
Right?
Bebelos.
Right? It says profane, unhallowed, right? Of men ungodly, right? Right here, right? Wicked, right? This is Esau Edom, man. You know, lawful to be trodden. You know, again, this is talking about the self-proclaimed so-called white man today, right? The Edomites, right? They're evil, man. They're wicked as hell. You know, and all this information they've been trying to, you know, ultimately keep, you know, behind, you know, closed doors, right, for so long. But now Yahweh Shem El Shai, you know, is revealing all of it, man. It's having all their dirty laundry being aired out. And brothers, you know, we believe, you know, that Esau is ultimately going to, you know, move, you know, hard, right? Even harder now, right? With all this information being out, Esau is going to do something, right, to try to cover, you know, this up, right? To ultimately distract, you know, the masses, right, from, you know, looking at these, you know, these files and whatnot, man, right? So you best believe Esau is going to go even harder, right? As we read in Revelations chapter 12 and verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And Esau is being revealed. See, and Esau has had his scholars, right? His so-called scholars, just pagan Christian scholars, right? Going through, you know, the historical evidence, you know, and, you know, the artifacts and, you know, going through secular history and stuff like that. And ultimately, you know, running those things right through the scriptures, right? Finding out that everything in the Bible is 100% true. You know, especially right now, Esau knows now, right? When it comes to prophecy is happening and there's nothing that he can do about it. You know what I mean? So this is happening right now. And this is why you see Esau going so hard. He sees the prophets, the true prophets of Yahweh Shem El Shai out here, you know, preaching this gospel in the spirit and power of the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his only beloved begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. He sees it, right? This is why he's moving hard now. He's moving so hard now. But see, now, with all this information coming out, he's going to move even harder. You know, you best believe within the coming days, maybe weeks, you know, months, right? Esau is going to, you know, it's going to be some type of, you know, false flag event, right? Some type of psyop that's ultimately going to happen, and or he's going to, you know, increase, you know, the pressure when dealing with his, you know, his federal agents, man. You know, Esau is being revealed, and see, that's the last thing that he needs is being, you know, himself being revealed and everybody knowing exactly who he is and what he has done, right? And because it's not just, you know, the Edomites here in America. It's all over, you know, all of these different Edomites, man, right? Again, we're reading about, you know, former Prince Andrew, right, which I did a lesson on, I want to say maybe a few months back. You know, there was a woman named Virginia, last name Virginia, I can't remember her first name, but something Virginia, right, who ultimately wrote a book on, you know, Andrew and the things that she did to him, or that he did to her, you know. And they tried to discredit her. They tried to, you know, this, that, and the third. And ultimately back in 2019, you know, he had to ultimately step down. You know, he had to step down from being a prince and basically lost his estate, you know, any kind of funding, you know, from, you know, the royal family and whatnot, right? So he's losing out, man. You know, and Esau is being revealed. And we're going to see, you know, this devil, you know, do his last hurrah, if you will, right? To try to stay, you know, in power, to try to stay, you know, relevant, if you will, right? But we're seeing the downfall, you know, of our enemy, man, you know, which is a beautiful sight. It's a very beautiful sight. We're seeing the downfall of our enemy, you know, and I had this pulled up because I went, you know, into the DOJ, right, and was looking up those actual files, man. you know, and there's a whole bunch, man. We're talking about, it's almost too much, you know. But let me grab this precept. It's like I had to sneeze. Let me pull this up. But Esau's being revealed, man, you know, at such an alarming rate, right? He's being, you know, being brought down, you know, which again is a beautiful sight. This is Sirach. I think it's 20. Where is it at? Sirach 25. Right here in verse 7, it says, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th will I utter with my tongue, and man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And we're living in that time, right? We're living in the time where Esau, Edom, is being brought down, right? Yahweh Shemel Shai is doing what? Consuming him with the spirit of his mouth, right? Meaning the mouthpiece of the Lord is the prophets, and the Lord has it to where the prophets are coming out here, right? Revealing him, you know, bringing out all the evidence, right? Showing you, you know, who he is and what he's done, you know, and it's all taking place, right, according to prophecy, right? Prophecy, right? As it says in 2 Esdras 15:1, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, you know, for they are faithful and true. You know, Esau, you are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is bringing you down, right? In Obadiah, right, we read it, right? Though I set that nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down. The Lord's bringing you down, man. You know, he's bringing you down, right? And soon, right, he's going to bring you all the way down, and that's going to happen physically, right? We're talking about, right, economically, socially, you know, you're being brought down, right? America's being destroyed before our eyes, right? The people are finding out who you are and the things that you have done, you know. But the cherry on top is going to be when Yahweh Shai comes and roots you out of that power seat, man, right? And you get put in your rightful spot, which is you being what? Being a slave, being a servant, right? The lowest of the lowest servants, man, right? Because the rest of the heathens are going to be servants too, right? We read that in Isaiah 14, right? We'll take them captives whose captors we were. At one point or another, right, the nation of Israel, right, has been captives under all the nations, right? Esau, you're just the last one to get us, but see, you did the worst, right? You are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. Scriptures say that you afforded the affliction, you know, and you're now paying for that, right? You're paying for all the wickedness and evil that you have ultimately, you know, forwarded in the earth, you know, by the Lord revealing who you are and your allies, right, turning against you. Everything is turning to the tune of prophecy, as the elder apostle Remlob states, you know, everything, every last, from the first breath to the last breath of the day, right? From everyone, right? From the first, you know, the first bird chirp, right? To the last bird chirp, right? From the sunrise to the sunfall, everything, right? Turns to the tune of prophecy, man. And it's beautiful, man. We're seeing the downfall of our enemy, you know. But let me grab one more precept, man, and we'll close out. This is 2 Esdras, chapter 6, and verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? So when this damn devil, right, ultimately gets completely and utterly pulled down, right, pulled out of that power seat, right, his rulership is over, right? And who has next? We have next, man. We got next, man. The Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got next. So with that, Lord will, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Karkadash. Until next time, I say shalom.